Hi, Sabrina. How are you doing?
Well, Ruthie, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. It's so nice to get to meet you.
Yes, likewise, likewise. I could hear you and see you just fine.
And same with you. So that's perfect. The recording is already on, so I'll cut out this little first part before I publish it. But I'm just going to introduce you and I'll ask you a few questions and we'll just have a nice conversation and see where it goes. Does that sound okay?
Great, perfect. Yep.
All right. If I'm ready, if you're ready.
I'm ready. Yep.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this Clarified Life, the podcast for women who do too much. Today, I'm joined by a powerful voice for safety and respect, Sabrina Osso. She's the founder and CEO of OSSO Safe, Feel Safe Where You Live, Learn, Work, and Play. Sabrina is a TEDx speaker, author, dancer, and real estate agent who has woven her personal and professional experiences into a unique and holistic approach to safety advocacy. Through Also Safe, she helps individuals and communities foster respect in homes, workplaces, and schools, bridging industries in a way that's both practical and empowering. She's been featured in over 125 interviews, and today she's here to share with us not just the warning signs of unhealthy relationships, but also the tools, techniques, and hope we need to create environments where we feel truly safe. Sabrina, welcome to this clarified life. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much, Ruthie. That was wonderful. We greatly appreciate the opportunity to be here with you and your listeners.
All right, thank you. You see, I'm grab my notes here. Okay. Well, I guess first off, if there's anything else that I didn't cover in the introduction that you want to cover, you could start with that. Otherwise, I'll just start asking some questions.
You covered everything, so yes, you can question away.
Okay, great. So I'm first curious to what inspired you to create Also Safe, and how does your personal story shape your mission?
Yes, I've had enough therapy. I've been in and out of therapy for quite some time to be comfortable to say that I am a survivor of violence. My father beat my mother on a regular basis. My mother would beat me. So I know firsthand how difficult it is to live in that type of environment. And Also Safe actually was born out of a one-woman show that I wrote, choreographed, and performed. And the title of that show is Home Safe, I'm sorry, Home Sweet Home question mark. And I hope to revive it one of these days, but I play different women being abused. She goes to her good place, that's where the dancing comes in, but then she's pulled back into the terror of violence. The show ends really strong, really empowering. And I did a lot of research for the show, and I could not believe the statistics that I was finding. So I said to myself, I need to make this into a business, a bona fide business with products and services that could really help people. So that's how Oso Safe was born, essentially turning pain into power.
I love that. Yeah, turning pain into power. Because you're right, this statistics are really staggering when you think about it. And I'm just thinking, like, personally, of the top 10 people I call friends, probably nine of us have been abused or in violent situations in some form or another. So it's a very important message that you're spreading. And we want to, I like to turn the pain into power because that's the positive effect of it, right? Like we're no longer a victim. There's something we can do. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah. So in that vein, do you have some practical ways that women can set and maintain healthy boundaries both personally and professionally?
Yes, absolutely. One thing that we like to say at Oso Safe is if you are a survivor of violence, survivor of abuse, you have one job. uh, one main job, I should say, and that is to not repeat the cycle. And this is a practice, so it's not just one and done. The whole foundation of OSSO Safe, our core product is the OSSO Safe certification for properties, where we create and maintain respect in homes, workplaces, and schools, but the focus is in the home. So we want to say to women and men for that matter, but I believe primarily your audience is women.
Mm-hmm.
We have to practice respect, respect for ourselves, respect for others. And I want to say it is a practice because we're going to make mistakes, right? We're not perfect all the time. In fact, we're probably more imperfect than perfect. But the whole premise is um, do it wrong until you get it right. I like saying that even for myself. Everything that I'm saying in this interview, I practice myself. So do it wrong until you get it right. So you're going to mess up. You maybe your kids frustrated you and you raised your voice. So you're going to be the example for that child on how you apologize, if you apologize. I'm so sorry, little Timmy, little Sally. Mommy was wrong. I had a, and it's not even an excuse. So you want to say to the child, it's not an excuse. I had a very bad day at work or at school or whatever your schedule is, and I'm doing my best to not do that again. Is there anything that you think I can improve upon? Have your children involved in that conversation so that way they learn from you and they can see, wow, mommy was upset, but she apologized and I could see that she's not doing it anymore. She's very different. I want to be that for my friends, for my boyfriends, girlfriends, when I get bigger and have kids of my own. So we as women, and like I said, as men, but mothers, we have to be the example, especially if we come from abuse. It's very easy to fall into that trap to repeat those same mistakes.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing that I want to say is, and I know that was a bunch of mini tips in what I just said. Um, we have to learn to pay attention to our instincts, and I feel like a lot of us don't know what that even means. Like we second guess ourselves, we doubt ourselves. Oh, this person needs help, I'm going to get out of my car and help them. Stop, because you may be running into danger. You're in
Mm-hmm.
your car, you see somebody who, please help me. It could be a man, it could be a woman. Especially, although these days, I have to say, whether it's daylight or nighttime, horrible things happen. It doesn't matter. Like it's not just nighttime, in pure daylight. So really, um, call the police, call 911 and say, look, I see somebody, they seem hurt, they're at such and such. I'm here in the parking lot, stay in your car, don't get out, because it may be a trap. It may be where somebody's trying to kidnap you for sex trafficking. I'm not even exaggerating.
No, I
Um,
know.
Unfortunately, I'm not exaggerating at all. So I want to say when you're dating, to women that are dating, any red flags at all, and that could be he or she starts to touch you inappropriately, and you say, "Look, stop. You're overstepping my boundary. Please don't do that." If they don't stop, you need to go. Have a your cell phone with you right away, like on you at all times. Um, Tell a friend, tell a family member if you if you can, to say, look, can you call me within 5 minutes of this date or 10 minutes of this date? Because I want to make sure that it's headed in the right direction. Because you'll know if it's not. Just little nuances like he or she starts touching you inappropriately. Maybe they say something that is off-putting. Um, and there is such a thing as date rape,
Hmm.
unfortunately. So, anything that feels off, listen to that. Uh, that is a big a red alert, a red flag. If he or she tries to control your money, in any way, shape, or form, wants to be on your account, tries to change you in any way, where you look good, but I want you all for myself. I get very jealous when you wear mini skirts and when you're very fashionably dressed up. Why don't you cover up? Because I get very jealous. These are all red flags.
Yeah.
Um, Things like that where they try to change you, try to change your personality. You were outgoing and now they want to isolate you in any way, shape, or form. Not good. You always were with friends, family, and one by one, they start disappearing and you make excuses and you're always with this person, but you don't feel good with this person. You don't feel safe. You don't feel respected. And you kind of make excuses like, well, he or she had a bad day, or ah, it's fine. He's so good looking, or she's so good looking, or they apologize. They got me flowers, candy. Bad, 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 bad. These are all warning signs. I'm sorry. Am I talking too much?
No,
Sometimes I go
you're
off on a tangent.
no, you're perfect. That led right into the next question I was going to ask, which was about dating and relationships in particular. So you just went there without me asking it, and I love that because I feel like just as women in general, right? We start out as daughter, we become often mothers, wives, significant others, whatever. We're always, and in our careers, right? We're something to somebody. So we've taken on these roles that people give us, right? And there's nothing bad about any of those roles. You know, I love being a mother. I loved being a wife. I love doing my job, you know. Um, but we have to have those personal boundaries for ourselves to remember I am still an individual person outside of this title that I hold currently, right? And that comes with my own preferences and boundaries and all of those things and just staying honored to ourselves. Where was I going with that? Oh, so I think just in general, whether somebody's been in a violent situation or not, we take these roles on and we lose touch with ourselves. Um,
Right, right.
yeah.
And I'm glad you said that because, yes, I forgot what movie I saw. It was months ago, but it was with Angela Bassett, and she tells her son, uh, "I was a girl first. Before I became your mother, I was a girl first." And what a great statement to make, because that's the truth. I was a girl, I was playing, I was flirting, I was studying or having fun or going out to the clubs or just drinking with my friends, having a nice cocktail or playing with dolls or playing with the football or and and it's important to keep at least some level, whatever it is that gave you enjoyment, write it all out and to be sure that you consciously do at least a few of those things as a mother while you are mothering, while you are um, a wife and a girlfriend, whatever, your partner, a partner, because it is easy to lose touch with that, and then you suffer, obviously, and then the people around you and your family suffers tremendously. So to be conscious of that, do one thing every day for yourself, whether it be whatever it is. It could be something silly like painting your nails, going for a massage, taking a bath, buying flowers for yourself, buying some candy for yourself. Um, uh, and I get it. Like if money is tight, then take a walk in the mall or at a store and pretend that you're rich and that, oh wow, I want to buy this. And I saw that dress and I saw that Prada top and I saw that Ferragamo shoe, those Ferragamo shoes, and and just dream and that it'll come to me, or the fortune will come to me, or whatever it is that you want in your life. It's very important to do those things because uh we were all girls first,
Yeah.
young girls, little girls, teenagers, and then young adults in high school, or high school and then young adults, and don't let anybody take that away from you. Your relationship should add to you, not take away. It should
Yeah.
add. um and that's it's a practice. It's not automatic. And see, you have to also have a good support system, so if you don't, it's even harder, but not impossible. So if you're like alone, and when I say alone, let's say you have family that you don't speak to anymore, to keep your sanity because they were abusive. Like in my situation, my father passed away and my mother I keep a distance from because she is toxic, she's
Mhm.
abusive. So in order to keep my sanity, I have to keep my distance. And you know, I see people on social media and just friends that I have, they're close with their mother, their father, and that's great. But if you don't have that, then you have to find other ways to have that support system. And I want to say also, and I'm sorry if I'm talking too much, a good therapist, I feel, is essential. We feel at Also Safe, we are big proponents of good therapy, and not all of them are the same. Try on a few for size. Don't be discouraged if, oh my gosh, I listened to this woman on this podcast and she said get a therapist. Well, I couldn't stand her and I couldn't stand him and all is lost. No, you may have to, it's like trying on a dress or pants, or you have to see which one will fit and let that be okay. But a good therapist could really help you gain perspective, and it's a third person completely. They don't know you, so they could really see looking in. Wow, Sabrina, you're repeating the same mistakes as your abusive mother and father. As soon as my therapist would say that to me, I would be floored. I would be like, "Oh my gosh, you're right. I'm doing it. I'm being, I don't want to say abusive, but I was not being kind or respectful completely, you know."
Right. And your friends and family, say you had family or even just friends, whatever your normal support network is, they might see that as well, but they wouldn't necessarily be brave enough to say it to your face, right? And so having that neutral third party as a therapist is just that extra perspective that you get to say, hey, I see these things repeating over and over. And oftentimes that awareness is all we need to start making a change.
Exactly. Yes, yes. Yeah, when I first started therapy, I thought the therapist is going to fix everything. I just need a couple of sessions and then everything is going to be okay. Boy, was I wrong. it's a work in progress. It still is. And what I say to people as a test, if you have the right therapist, the one that makes you feel after even one session, I would say maximum two sessions afterwards, if you feel less heavy, bingo, that's your therapist. Because as a victim, you have the world on your shoulders. You are in constant alert, urgent mode. What's going to happen tonight? What's going to happen? Are the police going to be called? Is dad going to beat up mom? Is mom going to beat up dad? Am I going to have to say something to the police? Oh my, that's constant verbal,
Right.
physical, sexual abuse, and you can't live your best life like that. So you are in a constant state of urgency.
Hmm.
And it just makes it so difficult. And the therapist will, a good therapist that's a good fit, will make you feel less heavy. That's the best way I can put it. And which is important. And then it, like I said, it's a work in progress, and allow yourself to feel all of those emotions, because a lot is going to come out to the surface. Whatever you've been suppressing, whatever you've been ignoring, just in survival mode. So it's
Right.
going to come out in rage, anger, fear, anxiety, panic, worry. Let it all come out, you know. And I wanted to say something about actually sexual harassment, but we could come back to that. I don't want to ruin the flow of your questions.
Okay. No, I like that you talked about the therapist and therapy. What do you think about like meditation or breathing practices that can also help people stay grounded when they either feel stuck in that past situation, like they can't come through it, or anxious about things that are coming in the future?
Excellent question. Yes. And this is something that I've been practicing for a few years now, and it was foreign to me, but I'm getting better at it. Meditation, absolutely. Uh, there's and breathing, like deep breathing. I find that and I actually put it in my children's book, when I breathe consciously and I hold it at the top for 4 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds, and then I let it all out, I feel more grounded, or I feel grounded, like, wow. And that's just breathing. Breathing is a gift, actually, like consciously breathing, like you and I are breathing right now, but it's not intentional. It's just it's just automatic. But when you are anxious and you're worried, and like you said, you're thinking about the past, you're thinking about the future, you're getting overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, at work, I have all of these projects at home, my kids, my husband, my boyfriend, my this, my that. It's easy to get very overwhelmed and panicked. And I mean, you could put yourself in the hospital, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Breathing is such a great tool. You can do it anytime. It's there for you, and you can do it privately or openly. You can excuse yourself and do it in the bathroom, whatever it takes. But I find it very helpful, and it really grounds me. And I'll do like just even simple, and then hold it at the top, and then
See,
like
I
really
automatically did it
exhale.
with you. I automatically did it with you because you were doing it.
Yeah, yep, yep. In fact, I start and end my speaking engagements that way, because it helps me and it helps my audience, and it's just unifying. And I feel my shoulders come down, my heart rate slows, my like I could hear presence, which is really it gives you some relief.
Yes.
which is what we need, and to be grounded and to practice that throughout the day. It's very helpful. And also I like he's a spiritual leader, a spiritual there's so many, but one that I like a lot, that I try to listen to him, and I like how he says things. Eckhart Tolle, uh, Eckhart, and then his last name Tolle. He taught me, by listening to him, presence, the present moment, and stillness. I really like that word, stillness. I feel like peace is still difficult for me, but stillness, I can get there where and the breathing helps that, where you can just, um, even though the storms are happening, if you breathe consciously and just think, okay, I hear maybe planes, I hear my voice, I hear maybe the air conditioning or the heat working, and that's it. Like, just that's it, you know. Um, it's very helpful. And he goes into that, and he just focuses on, don't try to change anything, and not to be passive, like, but to be, there's power in surrendering. And I'm still learning that. Like, there's power in just let things be at the moment. For example, he'll say things like, let's say you make a wrong turn, and now oh my gosh, your whole schedule is messed up. You made a wrong turn and you're cursing, you're upset. Let it be okay. Just let it be okay. Maybe you averted a big accident.
Right.
So let that be okay. Your child spilled orange juice all over themselves. Oh my gosh. And that was like one of the last shirts that he or she had. Let it be okay. Don't scream at them. Don't yell at them. Don't abuse them. Don't blame them because they feel horrible as it is, for sure. So just breathe with your child together. Okay, go in the hamper, pick the cleanest thing in there, put it on. I'll get you to school. It's okay.
Yeah.
Let it be okay. And practicing all of these things, it's the day to day. And also I want to say, uh, ask for space when you need it. You come home from work or you work from home, and just tell your family or sit them down and say, look, after I finish work, I need a half hour to myself. Please try not to bother me. I need 20 minutes. I'm going to lock myself in the bathroom. Please make sure that you use the bathroom before I go in there because I need 20 minutes alone. And if you, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, little Timmy, little Sally need 20 minutes, I will respect that and I'm going to honor that for you. But I need from 5 o'clock to 5:30 to be left alone. I need to do my breathing. I need to maybe scream in a pillow. I need to rip up a bunch of papers and just let them fly everywhere. That's how I need to vent so that way I can be here for you
Um,
after 5:30 and on. Ask for space. Ask for your space. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I insist for all of us to do that. It could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon, it could be, and especially if you work from home, you really need that. Go on another side of the house, apartment, take the car, go for a drive, um, whatever it is, ask for space. You are well within your right to do so, and you'll be better for it. It's your right as a human being, as a parent, as a partner to ask for that and that it gets satisfied.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite part so far, my favorite tip, because I think as women especially, we do so much for all of the people in our lives and around us that we forget to ask for what we need sometimes. And even if we do happen to remember, we feel guilty or selfish or all these ways to feel that are not true, right? And so I love that you shared that too. It's not only okay, it's a prerogative to ask for the space you need so that you can be the best person that you can be to your family, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I love
And
that.
uh it's something that we're encouraging. I don't have it here with me. I have it in the other room, but uh we make it's just something you could take an empty water bottle and this is encouraged in or we give it at in OSSO Safe certified properties. So on the bottle and an empty water bottle and our logo is on the bottle, and as a family, whether you're a family of 1 or 10 people, it doesn't matter, put in this bottle everything that's important to all of you. It could, like symbolically, it could be grains of sand, little stones, little rocks. If somebody likes the color purple, find something purple and put it in the bottle, and then put some water in it and put it somewhere in the house and make it as a rule. Okay, when that bottle is not here, it means that that person is taking their space, taking their oh so safe space, and we're going to leave them alone. When the bottle comes back, then it's your turn and your turn and your turn. So that way everybody gets to have their oh so safe time, if you will.
Yeah,
So that way they're better for each other, better for yourself. And yeah, it's really important. And you know what you said about the guilt or maybe even shame or wow, yeah, I'm needed, I gotta make dinner and I gotta do that. That's all noise. And Eckhart Tolle would say, let it be okay. Just
mm,
let the noise pass through you. Just, okay, feel guilty. Let it pass. Feel horrible. Just let it pass. Feel, oh gosh, I feel so bad. Let it pass. But keep your space. Just let all those feelings, those horrible feelings pass. And actually, they do. If you just allow it, they
mm,
do. And your kids need to see that you're taking that time so that way they'll do it for themselves. And
yeah,
they'll be that way with their families and their partners. Um yeah.
yeah. I love that. I think I we didn't necessarily have that when we were coming up, right? I'm of an age where, my mom was born in the mid 40s and raised through the 50s and 60s. So she was always the good, obedient housewife type, right? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that role, but she gave so much of herself to all of us that, by the time she was we were grown and that kind of thing. She just didn't even know what her dreams were anymore. Like I used to ask her, I'm like, Mom, what did you want to be when you were a kid? And she's like, I don't even know. She forgot it all. So I think we have an opportunity now to teach our children a different way to grow and become and still hold space for themselves. So I love that.
Yes, yes, thank you so much for the positive feedback. And uh yeah, it's actually kind of a crime, like I'm Italian, and I've been traveling back and forth between here, the States, and Italy forever. I've been going to Italy since I was an infant, and I see in my family like the dirty secrets, that come out as an adult. Like I found out like so many of the women, if not, I don't want to say all of them, but most of them have been abused. I mean, and I didn't even know until after, and I would be told all of these stories like, yeah, this one, the husband would beat the crap out of her. She would have to wear her hair in a bun to hide all of the pulled
Mm.
hair. I mean, just horrors, and it's so terrible. And you know, it really it steals your life, you know. And like my mother, I have no idea what she would have been. I mean, she was forced to be engaged at 16, married at 17, had me at 18. That's a child marriage. That's
Mhm.
essentially a child rape, really. And my father was 14 years older than her.
Oh,
And
wow.
when I say this to people, people say, well, that's how it was back then. No, 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 no. It's happening today in
Hmm.
2025 in the United States, even, and along with other countries like uh, uh, um, Pakistan or Saudi Arabia or Brazil or I mean, time is not an excuse. We don't give time as an excuse. Well, that's how it was back then. Then
Right,
what's the excuse now?
right.
You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
So you mentioned you had a children's book. Do you want to share some more about that? What's it about?
sure, sure. Yes, it is. It is a staple in all OSSO Safe certified properties. It's called Home Safe Home for You and Me. I wanted to design a book that really spoke to children of all ages, whether they were teeny tiny or through high school. And I know this book is definitely more for, just by the look of it and the and the depth of it. But the message is definitely applicable whether you're teeny tiny or 18, 19 years of age. And it 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 explains clearly the difference between respect and disrespect, abuse and non-abuse, and it's giving voice and choice to children. I wish I had this growing up, but I introduce here, like what we were talking about, know that for the moment, which means right now, you are safe. So to try not to think about the past, don't think about the future, just think about right now, this moment. And I go into the that think about who you feel safe with, kids. Is it mom, dad, stepmom, stepdad? But what if it's not? What if mom and dad are hurting you? What if stepmom, stepdad are hurting you? Is there anybody that you feel safe with? And I go into that. Maybe it's an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a close family friend. So kind of like different people that they could turn to. And so I made up the cheer and I go over the cheer in the book, the OSSO Safe Kids cheer. I want to live where I am OSSO Safe and I am OSSO Safe with, and they get to fill in the blank. So it's giving them voice and choice, that because kids know who make them feel safe. They
Right.
know from teeny tiny through adulthood. And so why wait until they are 18 years of age for them to speak out and to say who they feel safe with? If mom and dad, and stepdad are verbally, physically, sexually abusing them, why wait? If there's an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a close family friend that they feel safe with, that's willing to take them in. So these are the concepts that I talk about in the book, along with breathing. I talk about breathing. I talk about how you could write on post-its to kind of vent your feelings. I don't know if you could see, but just
Yeah,
examples, giving tools to kids on how to, if they're safe at home, great. If they're not safe at home, when the fighting stops, go to a safe spot in your house, in your apartment, breathe, and and write things out, and maybe throw it out, because abusive parents, they're not going to want you to write things out and then they
right.
find it. And to, when they're ready, and we meet them where they're at, when they're ready, they'll speak out. So the book is encouraging all of these concepts, because they are the most disenfranchised beings on the planet. A lawyer actually said that to me, and I said, "Oh my gosh, you know what? He's right." Kids are, and people, so many people unfortunately think that kids are stupid, or they don't know, and they're very intelligent. They know. They may not know how to verbalize it, or,
Mhm.
but they know.
I think I agree with you. I think they know instinctively, right? Because they don't have the filters that we as adults have given ourselves to excuse or explain away or disregard certain behaviors, right? They don't have those filters. And
Right.
so they know what safe is and what safe is not. Like you said, they just may not know how to verbalize it or who to verbalize it to, you know. So I love that you have that tool for them that and I think I heard you say all of these books are like in the properties that you
Yes, yes. We are making respect a required standard in all homes, and we are proposing to the real estate industry to get their properties OSSO Safe certified. So every property to get OSSO Safe certified. So that means that uh, right now we're marketing this mainly to the landlord tenant portion of the industry, but all property owners, whether you rent, whether you own, whether you have a mortgage or not, we're saying hire us. We'll get your property OSSO Safe certified. That means that the property owner purchases the OSSO Safe Home Sweet Home package, and it consists of a policy, a seminar, an app, and therapists assigned to the property. So, and in the policy and the seminar, we are giving voice and choice to kids. So we educate both adults and children alike. So, in order to educate the kids, we use the book to educate them and give them voice, to plant those seeds. And we realize, people say to us, "Yeah, but Sabrina, kids lie. What kid is going to say that they're being abused by their mom and dad?" And we realize that, yes, they could lie, but we know, and I know from personal experience, abusive parents can only keep their poker face on for so long.
right.
Sooner than later, those abusive true colors will come out. And we have it documented, and we planted the seed in children's mentality, in their brains, their psyche. Oh, wow, I'm going to speak out. I'm going to speak out because I was educated, I live here, and the abuser is the one that leaves. That's a different concept. And
Yeah.
and I can go with auntie or uncle or grandma, grandpa. Um, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And we say to them, it's scary. We know it's scary. When you're ready, speak out. So the book is just part of the certification, if you will.
Okay. That's awesome. I've been the last couple of years, I've been working a lot around in different aspects, finding my own voice, helping other people find their voice, right? And so to know that there is a way to help children before they go through all of the stuff that we go through as we are growing up, right? That filters us and silences us and all of these things, that they have these tools to know that they can safely and confidently share their voice. And maybe they can, like you said, break the cycle, right? Whatever the cycle is in abuse, but also just in life in general. I just love that message that you're spreading. That's so cool.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruthie. Thank you for echoing that. Yes. Um, yeah, it's very important. And these poor kids, they're dealing with a lot. They're dealing with a lot. Social media, school shootings, uh, bullying, and like all of these things existed before, not the school shootings, but the bullying for sure, but there was no social media years ago, and school shootings, you never heard that. Growing up, I had fire drills. That's it. So
Right.
school shootings were non-existent. And, I say to people, do you realize that you're kissing your kids goodbye, sending them off to school? That may be the last time you see them. Do you realize that? So let's please stop saying, oh, kids have it so easy today. They don't even know reality. And I say to them, what are you talking about? They, and if they're not safe at home, they're not safe at school, where are they safe?
Exactly.
Where are
Exactly.
they safe, for crying out loud, and we believe in discipline at Also Safe. Absolutely. We're not saying, oh, if your kid throws everything and punches the door, and no, we're not saying that at all. You have to discipline your child, and it's something that we educate on in our seminars. There's a difference between discipline and abuse. Discipline
Yes.
instills education, abuse instills fear. You have to discipline your children. They have to learn right from wrong. They have to know that you have to be kind. You have to practice kindness. You don't bully anyone. You have to practice that. That if somebody's alone, go to them in school, offer help, offer a hello. You don't tease. You have to discipline them. But abuse, because a lot of abusive parents will say, I am disciplining my child. No, you're abusing your child. Um, it's not the same thing at all. So, and we make that distinction in our seminars with the OSSO Safe certification, and it's a very important distinction because a lot of abusers will say, well, my kids have to respect me and I'm disciplining my kid. No, your kid is petrified of you. There's a
Right.
difference.
Absolutely. There's a difference. Absolutely. So, just to kind of wrap it up a little bit, if my listeners could take one small action today to create more safety and respect in their daily life, what would you encourage them to start with?
Uh, Definitely know that they deserve to be in a good relationship, period, over and out. They deserve to be in a good relationship. So if anything feels off, don't second guess, don't make excuses, break it off immediately. Um, uh, and 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 you have to practice that. Don't try to rationalize or make excuses for the person. And I wanted to say also, if I may, sexual harassment is huge.
Hmm.
And we as women, we need to call it out immediately in the workplace, everywhere, but in the workplace. And so, and I realize that a lot of us, we will shut up about it. We will keep quiet because we need that paycheck. But my advice is our advice at Also Safe, have faith that you'll find something else. Document everything. When it happened, how it happened, who, if somebody made some inappropriate comment, if somebody touched you inappropriately and just joked about it, if they showed you pornography and they tried to say, oh, wow, look, check out this at work or anywhere for that matter. Document it. You deserve to be safe at work. And call that person out, whether it's your boss, your supervisor, a coworker. So if a comment is made, we encourage you as the one who's on the receiving end to say, hey, that is sexual harassment and I do not allow it. I'm telling you, that alone they will be floored. They're not going to know what to do. So the more that you're silent, the more power they have. Nip it in the
Mm,
bud on the first episode of sexual harassment. Hey, that is not appropriate. And I'm documenting this. Say it right to their face. They're not going to know what to do. And keep doing that. Call it out. That is sexual harassment. I will not be treated that way. And I'm documenting everything today, what you just said, what you just did, and from now on, even if it's your boss, especially if it's your boss. If it's your
right.
boss, then go below him or her or to HR or keep documenting and whoever it is, you don't need to take that nonsense. It's violent, it's abusive, and you don't deserve to be, no one deserves to be abused at work, anywhere for that matter.
Yeah. Thank you so much for adding that piece in. I mean, these are hard topics that we've talked about today, but I also think it's very necessary to for us to hear and to remember, right, that we have a voice in our homes, in our workplaces, everywhere that we go, and the more we silence ourselves, the more stressed out and overwhelmed and all of these things that we're going to feel because we're carrying that burden like you said to start out with. So the more that we can speak out for what we stand for and what we believe in and what's right, then the world is just going to be a better and better place and our children will learn the same through our examples. So
Right.
yeah. All right. I appreciate this time with you and for bringing so much awareness to just, like I said, difficult subjects, but a much needed conversation, right? We have to be reminded sometimes of the things that are out there that we can have some power over to right past wrongs, right? If nothing else, then to stop the cycle. So I appreciate your time with me here tonight.
Thank you so much, Ruthie. This was so great. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and stop.